This week I thought I'd review something a little different, and whilst I was at it, I thought I'd mix it up a little too. If this week's programme was a book title, I would call it Wimps Need Not Apply. Hello and welcome to AAR On Air. This week it's one for the big guys out there, the proper guys, the beefcakes. You get the idea. This is the Hatsan Air Max, and let's get one thing out there first. This tops the scales unscoped at 4.9 kilograms or 10.8 pounds. It's not for the faint-hearted or slight of build. It is made from a block of solid iron and finished with a stock honed from pure granite. It is the love child of a blacksmith and a stonemason. Okay, it's a little on the heavy side. And if you don't dispatch your quarry with your shot, simply drop it on it and it'll bludgeon it to death in one go. Now, I realise that Hatsan are not known for making ultra-lightweight guns, and this is a bullpup and still has the scales worried. Enough of the weight jokes then. Let's take a closer look at this Hatsan bullpup and see if it's any good and who it would likely suit. And then I'll throw in what I would consider to be the complete opposite end of the scale, just for good measure. The walk around then first. This is 94 centimetres or 37 inches long, and most of that length is the 76 centimetre or 30 inch shrouded barrel and silencer setup, with the actual choked barrel taking up 58.5 centimetres or 23 inches of that length. Hatsan claims the silencer and shroud system makes this gun 50% quieter. There is a huge 400cc air cylinder at the front, which must be good for around 1 million shots. Not content with that, there is a further 90cc cylinder behind it. So that's nearly 500cc's in total. Okay, so the 1 million shots was an exaggeration. But if you can't get enough shots out of this sub-12 version for a day's shooting, I hope you've got a lorry to bring back all your rabbits. And if you haven't taken that many rabbits out with this capacity, you may need to get some more practice. Hatsan actually claim around 450 shots per fill. Blimey, that's nearly a tin full. Hopefully you won't be hand pumping this after emptying the cylinder of that size. Then again, if you're big enough to do that, the weight on this isn't an issue and it's not going to bother you at all. The main reason for that size bottle is simply because this is originally designed to be shooting at considerably higher power levels than this sub 12 foot-pound version. They claim they can get 36 foot-pounds in 177. Blimey. Then 51 foot-pounds in 2.2 and a whopping 57 foot-pounds in 2.5 calibre. Back to the walk around. The top rail is quite raised and will accommodate dovetail or Weaver Picatinny mounts for your preferred scope, which is a nice touch and very accommodating. On the right-hand side of this gun is the side cocking lever, which on this budget range gun is really pretty good. This has a lift and pop out action for you to be able to pull back fully to cock. The mechanism is quite open and visible and would be as simple as it could get to service it. The action operates a throw lever to the rear cocking system. Above this is the magazine loading area. There are 2 magazines supplied as standard, and these hold 10 rounds in 177 and 2.2 calibre and 9 in .25. Loading this is as simple as it gets and has a real Wildcat or Viroc feel to it. It can't be double loaded, which is always helpful. Now, this magazine, once loaded up, is simply returned to the gun with the bolt pulled back. Then release the side lever, return your bolt, and you're good to go. Behind this is a really very comfortable cheek rest, which is rubberized hard plastic and is height adjustable from the left hand side by pushing on the button, moving the stock and releasing. From this point we head down to the stock, which isn't actually granite, it's solid oak. Well, it probably isn't, but it could probably be Turkish walnut or maybe just stained beech. I would say the finish isn't quite Minelli, but doesn't have any sharp edges or annoyances anywhere. Just needs a little more TLC to finish it off for my liking. That said, it does come pre-fitted with slings front and rear and a weaver rail on the bottom front for bipods and the like. The trigger is metal and they state it is match grade and adjustable. The safety is in front of the trigger a la Gamo style and is a little notchy but does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it locks the trigger completely when engaged. Fire mode simply needs this pushing forward. It's worth noting that this is automatically applied every time you cock the gun. The stock is classed as ambidextrous, but the side lever isn't, and it's not interchangeable either. The rear of the stock has a vented butt pad for comfort fitting. I must admit, the grip to trigger position on this was very comfortable for my hands. Under the front is the Hatsan manometer, from which you can check the 200 bar maximum fill pressure of the gun. Time to fit a scope to this and take that weight over 5 kilogram mark, load it up with pellets and get it out on the range to check the accuracy. Well, personally, I don't think that's too bad at all for what is essentially a budget PCP and somewhat different to my personal preferred shooting type of rifle. This has got to be well capable of some fun target work and will be quite capable of some pest control in that environment as well. And that oversized bottle on the front should keep you going all day. On the chrono, this was showing 11.3 foot-pounds using 8.44 grain pellets and was very quiet, I must admit. The one thing I haven't told you yet is the price. This little powerhouse will set you back around £450 UK, and for that you'll get the filler probe and 2 magazines. It must be said, it isn't a lot of money for such a lot of gun and leaves plenty left over to pop a decent scope on the top of this. Now, I know I've had some fun at the expense of the weight of this gun, but with this price level, the Hatsan Air Max does have the last laugh and presents a lot of bang for your buck, so to speak. And there are a few people out there who prefer a decent weighty feel to their guns, and it does add a level of stability when you're shooting, that's for sure. And I should also admit that I had recently pulled my arm prior to testing this and was wimping out a little, to be fair. As a result, I decided to do a direct comparison to a much lighter and much underestimated bullpup for the less physically able, namely me. So here is the Walther Rain, which by comparison tops the scale at an anorexic 2.5 kilograms, which is approximately half the weight of the Hatsan, and is considerably shorter at 68.7 centimetres. It too has a larger capacity air cylinder, which is nicely hidden under its closed compact body of polymer, and should be good for around 180 shots from this regulated gun. The barrel is 43 centimetres long, and even though shrouded, still has the ability to add a silencer to the standard threaded end, which makes this super quiet. It is available in Weaver or dovetail rail mounts version and has a true ambidextrous stock with the ability to change the side lever cocking action from left to right, right to left to suit the individual's needs. The safety is faultless and is a simple push through item. The gauge is on the right hand side, and Walther stayed to 232 bar fill pressure, although in sub 12 foot-pounds I've usually found 200 bar to be the ideal max. The action on this is super smooth and has that German feel to it. The polymer body design and feel is not to everyone's taste, and initially I must admit to being very sceptical about this little gun, but the more I've had chance to use it and the more I realise just how underestimated this actually is. The build quality and fit and finish is unquestionable. I've spoken to a lot of people who have actually bought this and they have all given very positive feedback. When this first came out, I was a little unsure about the overall look of the gun, but I have truly grown to love it. I like the lightweight, short length and easy action. The magazine is slightly more complicated than the simple and efficient Hatsan, but does give you the option of left or right-handed side loading. Added to that, the true ambidextrousness, if there is such a word, of this little bantamweight, the main difference I suppose has got to be the price, because this retails out at around £750 UK, which is considerably more than the Hatsan. However, if you check a particular website out, I do believe they're doing a special on this at the moment to lighten the price as well. With regard to power, this is also capable of some heavy hitting capacity, with up to 52 foot-pounds in .25 calibre. I've reviewed this before, but I thought it was a great opportunity to compare chalk with cheese, as it were, with complete opposites, and yet both will find their preferred market out there. Target work on this sub 12 foot-pound lightweight Walther, well, here goes. Same 40 metres. Nice, tight little groups out at 40 metres, and it's really comfortable to shoot. I've got no complaints about this at all. Do you know, I've actually enjoyed this double review, and please forgive me for making light of the very capable Hatsan. Yes, it's heavy, but you do get a lot for your money, and it's more than accurate enough for its low £450 price tag. Heck, it's £300 less than the Walther. But then again, when you get a Porsche and strip the weight out of the car, the price always goes up. But now, seriously, they are two different guns in both price range, finish and size. I love this sport. There's always something to suit everybody. Hopefully you've enjoyed this week's bit of fun. If you have, please give us the old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification bell. Join in the fun on lots of these sites and forums. Thank you again to Vector Air for the loan of these pair. Great fun. And of course, thank you for watching. Stay safe and shoot safe. And hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye for now.